if you have a child that finds homeschool boring, cut out or cut down significantly or choose very selectively on the video games and TV shows that they are allowed to play and watch. Everything's going to be boring in comparison to Minecraft and Disney. Number 2, this is from, I'll put her name on there, Ashley M. Buffa, I think her name is. Amazing to watch on YouTube. I'll try and link a video for her underneath. But anyway, she says, take a cue card and write down 3 things that you want your child to do the next day. So just 3 things, like the 3 most important tasks you want done. Like for me, that's a chore. For me, that's, and then a couple pieces of schoolwork. I put down a bit more, but that's because they don't look at it. I look at it. So I remember, hey, this is what I want them to do today. Otherwise, I'm telling you, I'll be in the thick of things and I'll be like, what? Like, what's next? We're gonna do what? Oh, we didn't do that? Oh, shoot. 3, this is big to me. Don't let your children's emotions determine your mood and affect your mood. I know it's hard, but it's especially important if you have very emotional, very not easy children. Don't let their mood dictate what you do that day, and don't let their mood, or try not to, let it impact your mood. Be happy in spite of life, not because of it. Teach your kids to make amends with each other, coach them through how to make up with each other, and then stay out of their fights. Stay out of it. Just tell them, hey, if anyone needs a hug, I'm available, which also leads me to the next point, which is I listen to what they say and I say, I believe you, because I believe that that's what they believe. And I say, tell me more. And I say, would you like a hug? And that's it. That's it. No commenting, no judgment. I stay out of it. Because if you get involved, that creates retribution. But also remember too, this leads me to my next tip, which is if you have a bully child or you have a child that hurts another child, or you have a tendency for someone to get hurt or someone to get name called or someone to whatever, okay, you're going to teach that child not to be a victim. So what you're going to teach them to do is to set up a room that has a lock. And if someone's being mean to them, leave the room. That's true if you have a child being mean to you. Say, I don't stay in a room where I can get hurt. This is a big one. I don't do family subjects. I bought every family subject from a variety of different companies and I stopped doing them. This is why, because they're incredibly difficult and complicated and there's a lot of elements and there's different ages and different things. I take a textbook, like a science textbook that is made for one student, and I read through it as a group, and then we discuss it, and then we answer the questions at the end of the chapter together, one for one, and then I keep that information that we need to remember. I write it down, and then we'll review it at another time. I'll just bring it up and say, hey, can you explain to me about, I don't know, why plants need carbon dioxide? Once a week, have a review day where it's just included in, like when you sit down to breakfast, you open it up and it's all the notes that you just, like maybe 4 or 5 points that you thought were super important from the lessons, from the family style lessons that you learned this week, and just talk about those again. And this is so hard, and I hate to rain down on your parade, but quit TV time. Quit watching TV. Mom, I'm talking to you who's sitting there watching TV. I get it, because I'm probably watching TV as well at this particular time, except that I'm trying not to. I've quit TV during the day until at least, well, I haven't exactly decided, but this is my plan. I got 1 week left of summer, and then we're starting school, and that is my plan, because you'll get a lot done if you don't watch TV during the day. And also, anytime I'm allowed to watch YouTube, it does something to me where I kind of rather be watching it and searching for something or Googling something or planning something than actually living life and doing homeschool. So to cut that out and know it's not an option, which is what I'm doing with my kids. We're doing it together, not as a punishment, I'm very clear on, but just to kind of, we can call it a reset, but whatever you want to call it, so that life becomes a little more enjoyable. So it's not that difficult to be away from that device. Scheduling your week out, your homeschool week, make sure that every day, the first thing you put down is time that you get to yourself to do nothing, to watch TV, to just a set time where you get to relax. So I did a whole video on planning and how I plan everything out. And the big thing that I now look at planning as, it's huge self-care. Planning is self-care. It's creative. It's, I don't know. If you take a look at the video, you might see what I'm talking about. And maybe if you start doing it, you might think so too. And if you start looking at it as self-care, it's a lot, and creative. If you start looking at it from that angle, and if you watch the video, you'll see what I mean. I'll probably put it in the comments or something. Then you'll understand, it won't be such a hardship to sit down and plan. Use the curriculum you have. Stop switching curriculum. I know, I'm talking to me too. I'm talking to me. I'm talking to me. I'm talking to you. I sit here as I pull out books. I'm pulling out Math Mammoth again. I've switched curriculums, math curriculums 47 times, and I am back to Math Mammoth because I found the books and I was like, okay, let's do some review before we go into school. Because every day, year round, they have to do some reading and some math. So I'm like, well, let's pull out these books and we'll do some review to make sure everyone gets what's going on certain topics. So use the curriculum you have, because the curriculum is not as important, as just doing something. Repeat to yourself, it is not my job to entertain my children. It is not my job to entertain my children. And if you do cut down on the iPad, the first 3 days in my experience going to be brutal. But just, well, when they come to you and say, I am bored, what are you going to do about that? I give a few options. Sometimes they're all rejected and say, well, then I'm sorry, I really don't know how I can help you, but I'm going to go sit in the living room and I'm going to read this book, or I'm going to go, whatever. But the point is, it's not your job to entertain them. I know it's something I have to repeat to myself because you feel almost obligated to sometimes. Have approved apps and a TV show list already predetermined ahead of time for you so that in a moment of weakness, you can't be like, I don't know, I forget, okay. No, you can say, refer to the list. Refer the list. Refer to the list. I have a Sunday list and I have an afternoon list, and it's like, refer the list. Refer to the list. This is for me. Don't be afraid to take away the iPad when the time is up. You can say, oh, you're having trouble with that. You're having trouble because it's not their job to set the iPad down after a certain time. That's extremely difficult to do. So they're a child. It's your job to parent them and to go in and to say, okay, you're having trouble. I see you're having trouble turning it off. So you got 1 minute, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to shut it off. So you've given them a warning, you've given them a time, and then step ahead and do it. Because kids sense weakness. We all know this. They are smart. They sense weakness, and they will exploit it every time. So don't stop doing what you're supposed to do, or what you said you're going to do. 14, start each day spending time and bonding, doing an activity with your kids if you can. So I get up too early to do this, so I'm thinking of switching it to another time of the day, but I just find if you do an activity with a child for at least 15 minutes that they chose, you have so much better behaved children throughout the day. Like, I'm telling you, it's night and day difference. So some kids can wait till the afternoon for you to do it. I've noticed, because I have one child that can, and some cannot. I have 2 children that can, and one that not really. So yeah, 10 minutes every day is or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, doing something they want to do. And then any other time they ask me to play with them, usually I'm like, well, we can do this, or we can do that, or how about we do this? Because remember, you're building a lifelong relationship. So don't always do things you don't want to do. Being firm and kind is not mean. It's being a good parent. Being firm and kind is not mean. It's being a good parent. Also, you may get a lot of blowback on that. But that doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. Yeah, and say, for example, that, kids are really smart, and say they're used to you backing down, they're used to you forgetting, they're used to you. Well, then say, hey, I get it. You're used to me forgetting about this. You're used to me backing down. Well, I'm not going to anymore. This is the way it's going to go from now on, because I sense that this will be better for our family. This is going to be better going forward. Okay, this is an important one. I think it's number 16, but I actually forget where I am because I skipped through. I don't even know how I missed some or did extra. Okay, so 16, there's always a reason not to homeschool. There's always a reason not to do those checklists. There's always a reason not to get it done. Someone's always not feeling well. Someone's tired. Someone's cranky as... So, there's always a reason. You'd rather clean. You'd rather watch YouTube. You really rather put cartoons on so you can get it together. There's always a reason to throw an iPad at a child, not literally, and not do it. But just stopped having reasons. Stop. It's like... I watched Angela, no, I don't even remember her name again, but I'll put it on the screen again. Buffa, whatever her name is. Wonderful person. I can't remember her name. But say to set your day by routines and rhythms and not emotions. And I couldn't agree more. If you take nothing else from this video, take those 2 points I got from her about the little cue card checklist and the routine. So don't go by your emotions, because you feel tired. Yeah, you're on your period. Yeah, you're going through menopause. Yeah, you slept like crap last night. Yeah, you have a baby. Yeah, you just had a baby. Yeah, you are depressed because you have no babies. Like, the list is endless. Don't do it. Just keep going. Be depressed later. That's what I say. Be depressed later. Okay, this is the biggest point. The final point on this list today is the point is to learn not to complete something. So look at this. I was looking at this book and I was like, okay, I'm going through it and I'm marking off places that it's Math Mammoth, and I'm marking off places that I want, to cover and to go over. And I'm like skipping a lot. And it's like, wait, why am I skipping a lot? Because I have this attitude of I want to knock this book out, which means like finish it, complete it. I want to mark it done. I want to get it out of my bin of things that need to be completed. For example, that's not usually the way with math, but kind of is. Or I want to get this year done so I can move on to the next year. The point, and I had to remind myself, the point is to learn. The point is not to complete something. So just kind of I don't know, maybe you'll find that helpful. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. Talk to you later.